Welcome back. It is time for Tech Talk. We've got Chris Rader with us live in studio. Chris, super intrigued by this topic this morning. We're talking artificial intelligence, and for many people, the big question starts with, what is it?
What is AI?
Yes.
AI is the ability for you to go on the internet and ask questions and data comes back to you. It's different than Google because, for example, in Google you can say, how do I put this formula in a spreadsheet?
Okay.
And it'll come back with articles. But AI will actually generate spreadsheets or generate formulas for you. So it uses all the information that's out there on the internet, it assembles it and comes back to you with intelligence such that, for example, if you're trying to write code and you say, I want write code to do a specific task, it will actually write pages of code for you, bring it back to you, and you can implement it into your system.
Wow. That's very, very interesting. I do have to ask you this. How does it differ from, I don't want to say it out loud because she'll turn on there, Amazon? We use it and I don't want them to go off at people's homes.
So that has a very limited data set.
Okay.
And these use LLMs, large learning models. So it's intelligence built into the data set. For example, when I talk to my friend, I'm not the Amazon one, but the Apple one.
Gotcha.
When I'm driving on the highway, I have limited information. It'll give me weather, maybe stock prices, and so forth and so on. But what we're going to see in the future is we'll drive down the highway and we'll talk to our phone like it's a college professor and ask it very intriguing questions and build on those questions.
So that kind of leads to our next thing here. How is artificial intelligence being used today? Like, how do we see it?
So people are using it. Let's say you're a real estate agent and you want to build a flyer for a property you're going to list. Well, before you would go out there and you'd type everything up, put all your data in, and you'd use some very creative words, the same type of words you see in the magazine rack when you're in a grocery store. You know, you look at the headlines on those, it's unbelievable. It's, you know, there's so many beautiful words there that make you pick up these magazines.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing here. But what's happening in artificial intelligence with realtors is they can put in some of their attributes, size of house, and so forth and so on, and it builds this beautiful document for them that makes them even look a lot better.
Wow.
So that's a great example of how people are using it today, right here in Acadiana.
That is a good example. Wow, I didn't realize that. Very interesting.
But it's not all right. It's not always right all the time. Al Bear,
our
Al Bear.
Yes, our
Al Bear, the poet.
Yeah.
Which he is a poet, I guess.
I guess so. Wears a lot of hats.
Wears a lot of hats. So he's shown me some examples where he's asked AI,
right?
Who wrote this poem, or who wrote this text, or who's known for these words? And it's come back with the wrong information.
A couple times, I remember. Yeah.
And there's a term in AI called hallucination, and that's when the data coming back to you is not correct, and that is a concern. But you know what? We should also talk about AI on the dark web.
Yes. What does that look like?
Let's talk about what's going on there. So the dark web is this anonymous marketplace where all this leaked data is stored, and people pay money for that leaked data. So what happens is a company's data is actually stolen, hijacked, sent out there, and then people buy it and then use it against them. Well, what AI is going to allow us to do, it's called dark BART. Okay, Dark Bird, excuse me. What it's going to allow us to do is it's going to allow researchers, and it's going to have to be controlled, to go out there, analyze all this huge amounts of data, and then try to ascertain or use deduction to figure out where are these people coming from that are taking this data. And hopefully we're going to put some stop gaps on this so that we don't have as much cyber crime as we have. And that's a real positive for us. And
that is a positive.
If used in the right way, it's going to really help us.
Well, listen, I feel fully informed now. I'm so intrigued. Chris, love when you come in. You always teach us something new. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Al.